Hey playa, have you ever felt like your height got in the way of you asking out the person that you like? Now, I'm not talking about you being short, I'm actually talking about you being tall. And that's exactly what Kevin asked me when he said, "Can you do a video on how to get a girl if you're tall?" Don't worry, Kevin, I've been tall pretty much all my life, and I've learned a few things in being tall when it comes to asking girls out. So I'll share them with you right after this.
This is the Just Beef, you're watching the Just Beef.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. Now, before you ask away in the comments, my height is 6'2". I've always been a pretty tall guy my whole life, but I didn't really start to grow until later on from high school into college. Now, there are a lot of you out there that get that growth spurt when you're in middle school or even in the beginning of high school. When that happens though, you might feel like you're at an advantage. On average, girls prefer taller guys. But is there a point where you could be too tall where you start to feel awkward about it? I think that's a possibility too. Some of the challenges with being too tall is that you might be a little bit lankier, your limbs might be a little bit longer than everyone else's, and you might just stand several feet above people too. And if you get to a point where you feel like you're too tall, that might actually disqualify you, just like a person being too short might. Everyone wants to be in that happy middle, but not everyone is. So if you are too tall, how do you go about asking out a girl that you like? And as much as I'd like to say height doesn't matter, it can matter depending on the person. If, for example, that girl feels like you're way taller than her, she might feel awkward walking in the halls with you, giving you hugs, kissing you, or just having to stand up on her tippy toes just to reach you. And just like I would say to shorter guys, what you want to do is shift the conversation from the obvious things like your height to the more personal things like your interests, your hobbies, who you are as a person, and how confident you are. Yes, there will be times where people will feel the need to call out your height and let you know how tall you are as if you didn't already know, or they might tell you that you should be a basketball player because that's what tall people should do. To some degree, you just gotta learn to roll with the punches. You might want to say something like, "Yeah, I know I'm pretty tall, but I'm more curious to know more about you as a person." One direct tip that I would offer is that if you find yourself in conversation with your crush, try to sit down. Doing that will help eliminate the major height difference and make you guys a little bit more equal. And when you are a little bit more equal, you're able to make direct eye contact and it's easier to carry that conversation. I know that even though you're tall, you could still feel insecure about your height simply because you might be the only tall person around everyone else. And when you're the only person that looks a certain way compared to everyone else, you're gonna feel like you stand out. And when you feel like you're ready to ask out your crush, go for it. Try to push your height to the back of your mind because at this point, the two of you should have already gotten to know each other so well that that height difference really doesn't matter. If it does end up getting in the way and you hear either through the grapevine or from your crush's friends or even from your crush directly that you're just too tall for them, don't count yourself out. Don't think that you're a bad person because of it. They simply have their own preference and their own interests, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to kind of accept it. As time goes on, other people are going to continue to hit puberty and hit their growth spurts, so you're not going to be the only person that's your height forever. Trust me on that. And as a side note, there are some girls that really like a huge height difference between them and the guy that they like. I don't know why, but they're just into that. So try to find a girl like that in your school. What do you think though? Do you feel like being super tall is a positive or a negative when it comes to asking out your crush? Leave your comments down below and we'll talk about it. Whether you're 7 feet tall or 5 feet tall, if you have a question you want to ask me in a more private setting, you can always shoot me a DM over on Snapchat or Instagram. I do my best to answer as many messages as I can. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe button. I also want you guys to check out my new book, which is available for pre-order. It's called Embracing the Awkward. It's a guide for teens to succeed at school, life, and relationships. So check it out. It's on the center of the screen. And otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace.